Hi, today we're going to talk about the ethic and his relation with archaeology. First of all, the archaeology studies the past of the human being through the material culture that the people lived in the past. For other part, the definition of ethics tells us that it's a whole of customs and norms that regulate the human behavior in the community. In the present has emerged a big problem and a big discussion about this issue in relation with the destruction and looting of the ethics. In our opinion, the principal reason of that is that the people didn't care about the culture of the identity of the native people. Also, it doesn't exist a clear information about that because the law that protects the heritage, that it's the Ley de Monumentos Nacionales, it's very deficient in many ways because this institution didn't have the power of the faculty or the faculties to fix this big problem. Also, in Chile doesn't exist the enough laws to protect our culture. And for other part, the lack of monetary resource difficult this homework to take seriously this problem. That results as a consequence in the looting and destruction of our culture.
Hi, today we are here with Andone Gurruchaga, studying of archaeology of the University Alberto Hurtado. Hi, Andone.
Hi, Sofia.
Today we have some questions for you to have more information about the problem of looting and destruction of the heritage. First question. What do you think about the ethics in relation with archaeology?
I think that ethics is really important for archaeologists, especially in the subject of cultural heritage. It's important because the archaeologist in his work constantly is making decisions about the heritage of other peoples, indigenous people for example. So the archaeologists in general should have a code, an ethic code for working with native people, for working with their heritage. The archaeologist in general should know the laws of his country about protecting heritage, and the same thing happens when archaeologists work in contract archaeology or impact archaeology and have to decide about rescuing a site, archaeological site or not. So, in conclusion, in the work of the archaeologists, ethics is very important. Constantly, the archaeologists make decisions. That's what I think.
Okay, what's your opinion about the laws that protects the heritage culture?
I believe the actual laws in Chile are insufficient in protecting heritage in many ways. For example, the institution that is in charge of protecting heritage in Chile, that is the Consejo de Monumentos Nacionales, doesn't have enough human resources and money, funds for protecting heritage in all Chile. And that's a really big problem because we have very few people for protecting the heritage in all Chile and very little money for making this work. So my opinion is that if laws are good, but we have to enforce them more even, make it better.
Okay. What's your opinion about the looting and destruction of the heritage?
It's terrible. The destruction of heritage makes that we lose cultural information. So forever we lose important information that we can make in scientific knowledge about the past of all humankind. And we also lose very important realizations of humankind. For example, the terrorist group ISIS, they destroyed Palmyra in Syria, and there is no more Palmyra anymore. They destroyed the archaeological site. So we lost forever that cultural information and the knowledge about that civilization. So the destruction of archaeological heritage is a loss for humanity in that sense. And about the robbing and like stealing archaeological sites, it's too a big problem because in many parts of the world, amateur archaeologists or rovers steal archaeological objects and sell it in the black market, and it's information is information that is lost, or in the same way that when archaeological sites are destroyed. So, in conclusion, it's terrible.
Okay, what's your proposal about this issue? About to fix this big problem, this problem of looting and destruction of heritage.
Sophia, I think that for protecting heritage, we have institutions like the UNESCO and international laws for protecting heritage in all these cases. For example, in international law, we have that in cases of war, even in cases of war, important archaeological sites are protected independently of the two sides of a war. So heritage should be protected against war crimes, for example, and should enforce supranational institutions that protect humankind heritage, like UNESCO. So if we want to stop the looting and destruction of archaeological sites, we have to enforce these institutions and make more education and diffusion about the importance of archaeological heritage for the identity of the cultures and peoples of the world, in my opinion.
Okay, and what is your opinion about the future of the archaeology in general in Chile?
In Chile,
In Chile.
I think that the future of Chilean archaeology depends on its best researchers, because they make the scientific knowledge we will in the future see as advancements and developments of Chilean archaeology. And in other side, it depends on we as students, because we are going to be the future of Chilean archaeology. And I think it would be a bright future, a very nice future, and that's my opinion.
Okay, thank you so much for this interview.
Thanks, Sophia.
In our opinion, we are against the destruction of the heritage culture because we think that this is damaging a society. Our proposal to help in this problem as a student of archaeology is that the institution in charge, like UNESCO, shall make more cultural activities to teach, protect, and respect the heritage. Also, we think that the student of archaeology have this future in his hands because we are young to be professional, and it's our responsibility to take decision with a good ethic. To end this video, it's necessary that we repeat that for us the destruction and the pillage of the heritage culture is terrible because as a student of archaeology we are in favor to the conservation of the culture. We understand that as future professionals of archaeology we will have to take decisions that bring into play with the past of communities, and we must have a good ethic to work. Also for us, the conservation of their customs, their histories, and their lifestyles is very important because we understand that it's necessary know the human past. In conclusion, we are against the destruction and the pillage of the heritage culture.